The death of King Alessandro was a complicated one. A man whose life was full of good rule and stable decision-making, marred at the end of his life by the marriage to Eusebia di Bossa at the age of 54 and having several children with her. After a pilgrimage to Jerusalem, where he almost died, the king descended into an increasingly unstable mental state, as he declared a great holy war for the islands of Majorca, leading thousands to their deaths in his fervor. After suffering many defeats, in a moment of questionable clarity, named his fifth-born child Solomon as his heir, before winning a great battle against the heathen. Not long after returning home, he died, leaving the 7-year-old boy in charge. The king is in Rome, being tutored by the Pope himself. His throne is not secure, with his older brother undoubtedly seeking it for himself, and having few allies at home besides his mother. Will Solomon take his namesake and lead a wise and stable rule, or will the pressure be too much to bear? This was the 8th episode of the House Torres mega campaign, going from CK3 to Stellaris. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoy. He's got a much older brother who is supposed to inherit, Prince Allessandro, who is 38, as well as 3 half-sisters before him. For his part of the family, he has one brother and then 2 sisters. He is the eldest child, again of Eusebia, and is currently 7. Our older brother is our heir, so if we die, he inherits everything, and he has all the incentive to do that. I mean, he's a zealous Christian man, so he probably wouldn't do anything too underhanded, but it's not like history isn't full of zealous good Christians doing horrible things for things they perceive as being right. We're being tutored by the Pope in Rome right now, Pope Innocentius III, the King Bishop of Fashion, which is an absolutely baller name. King Solomon is bossy, hale, genius, and beautiful. We don't know if we have these traits, we might. For our Chancellor, we are going to choose Jedi Gavini. He has been, I think this is the 3rd generation. For our Marshal, we are gonna go probably for Archon Carule, who is our vassal, and he's fairly loyal, so we'll want to do that. For our Spy Master, we'll go with Sebastiano. He's coming home right now to a rough situation, shall we say. We're gonna prepare the coronation because given the instability of our inheritance, the first thing we need is to legitimize ourselves. And the way we do that is we asked our good friend the Pope to coronate us. A papal envoy has reached my court bringing news from the Vatican. Pope Innocentius issued a call to arms to all righteous Christian rulers. As a Catholic king, I am expected to prepare my men in support of the most holy cause sponsored by the Universal Church itself. To all those who will take the fight against the vile infidels desecrating the holy grounds of Egypt, the Holy See promises full absolution from all sins and a guaranteed place in heaven. The Pope says the words, and so do I, and a sudden solemnity falls upon my gathered court. It feels so trivial at the moment, but as they approach and lay the crown upon my head, as if some words will truly make me king. Across the room, I see my sister Eusebia playing with her favorite doll. The adults around me always unhappy and want me to help them, but I think I would rather help beat the fearsome dragon she seems to be fighting. Eusebia seems to be looking at ways for me to join her. Oh, we're not gonna be serious. We're a fucking 7-year-old child. Fuck that. The time has come to bring St. George's holy wrath against the vile infidels of Egypt. Inflame my righteous fury and unyielding resolve. The great army of crusaders assembled by Pope Innocentius sets forth to deliver divine justice upon the wicked and their place in heaven. Deuceful, he is our mentor, so we're gonna follow him into the crusade. My brother Cyrus approaches me with a heap of fabric in his arms. As he dumps it on the floor in front of me, I realize it's a heaping cloth for adult. Let's play house together. We can either befriend our brother, or we can learn chess. We're gonna learn chess. Singular focus. Yeah, fucking base. Do it. I brought a small book with me, as I usually do, and my sister Eusebia finds me just as I am settling down to read a few pages. Oh, is that the Alma guest? I recently read it. What are your opinion on the prose? She's 7. To be fair, our family, like, all of our siblings are probably geniuses. So we're not dealing with normal kids, to be honest. This is like a demigod bloodline from Eusebia. Go away, I'm reading. We're bossy, so let's piss off our sister. We're gonna tell her to fuck off. I thought my sister Eusebia and the peasant boy were merely, oh no, pretending to fight, but suddenly there's blood in the dirt. Uh-oh. Eusebia hits the ground with a grunt, and the peasant standing above her moves to attack again. I'm gonna just beat the shit out of her. We're gonna jump in. Yeah, cool, we're friends now. We befriended our sister by standing up for her. We would realistically be on this crusade. We'd be with the Pope himself because he's teaching us. So we're gonna be taught like during the fucking crusade by the Pope leading the armies of God. If that's not like a fucking hero and or villain origin story, I don't know what is. Finally, we're in. All the weapons of the army within our grasp. Oh, what fun. Take that, all you smelly stupid adults trying to keep us out. Look, I found a sword, my compatriot Grazia exclaims, hefting the weapon. As I reach for the sword, I hear a loud ow behind me. Grazia was hurt herself and there's blood. What should I do? Let's fucking do it. We need to get more better men-at-arms too. When we have some money and we're not like going into debt fighting this fucking crusade, we need to do that. Friends are often so fickle and prone to betrayal, but never has my dearest friend ever betrayed me. My favorite toy is more than just a toy for me. He's my best friend. However, Pope Innocentius has been insisting that I cast my best friend aside and spend time with real children and properly socialize. But he just doesn't understand that my sweet toy means to me. We're gonna tell him no. Oh, my guardian Pope Innocentius teaches me well. Sometimes I hear him speaking in Italian vulgar. It's what he speaks at home, I think. While he mostly speaks Sardinian vulgar with me, he also is trying to teach me his mother tongue. He's actually doing a really good job of mentoring us, goddamn. Keeping two languages in my head is hard, but perhaps it's worth the effort. This we will do. We'll give it a shot. We actually learned Italian, nice. Thankfully, Pope Innocentius and the Papacists decided to spare my best friend and leave me to play and talk with him all day. There was a moment where it looked like he was intent on murdering my best friend, but seems my friend lives to see another day. The crusade is going quite well. It's actually almost done. We have completely routed the Muslim armies, and yeah, this will be over very soon. All right, we're on the doorsteps of Cairo. We just have to siege that out, and no, the war's over. Wow, victory. St. George has granted Queen Ildiko victory in the crusade for Egypt. After defeating Caliph Ablarian and his heathen warriors on several occasions, our warriors forced the enemies of the faith to admit their ignominious defeat. With the occupied lands firmly under the leadership of a pious Catholic ruler, we can rest assured that the divine will of St. George has been enacted. This is a glorious day for all true followers of the cross. One of our vassals got a little bit of territory in Egypt too. Yeah, just north of Cairo, actually. Really valuable lands. You stupid little cur! Why must you always be in my way? I'm about to teach you a lesson, Sebastiano exclaims. Our spy master? What have I done wrong? I only wanted to see what Sebastiano was doing. He is approaching rapidly, racing the club in the air. Help. If you tell anyone who did this to you, I will make sure you perish, he grins. We can become shy. Oh, that's rough. How can people be this cruel? Oh, man. What if there are more like him? I must always be on my guard. Oh, man, this is... Poor Solomon is going through some fucking shit right now. Arbitrary, compassionate, and paranoid. That'll be interesting. Let's just make it clear. Our spy master just beat the shit out of us with a club. That's what happened there at age 11. I thought my kinsman Paulu and the peasant boy were merely pretending to fight, but suddenly there's blood in the dirt. Paulu hits the ground with a grunt, and the peasant standing above him makes the attack again. We're compassionate, bossy, and arbitrary, so we're gonna beat the shit out of that dude. We are exploring the local church when my sister and friend Eusobi and I stumble across the Archbishop Babore, surrounded by scrolls. There are journals from long ago. Are you interested in such things? Why not? My sister and friend Eusobi and I are watching the Knights train in the courtyard when my knight Bartolomeo approaches us with a smile. What do you say, children? Think you can handle the basics? We'll give it a shot. We'll try and learn to fight. And me and us and our sister both gained prowess. Nice. Oh boy. All right. Remember what I said about pressure making diamonds? Well, we're gonna find out. Greetings, King Solomon of Sardinia. May you live in harmony and contentment. Go fuck yourself. You're invading us. It seems there's no recourse for us despite us to settle it on the battlefield. 7,000 troops. At age 13, still but a child, in many ways, King Solomon is faced with his first true test of both his character, his mind, and his will. The armies of the heathen in Iberia have called their banners against us, attempting to take what our father took through blood and fury. It was Majorca, remember, where we were proclaimed the heir. It's a holy site now for our family and for our faith. And if the heathen were to take it, it most certainly would be the case that our claim, our right to rule would be gone. If we fail this war, I think it would most likely be the catalyst for our brother's attempt to take back any semblance of power he could. And I think at this point, we will need to marry someone off for an alliance. We could betroth to the Prince of France. We'll betroth to the French. and call their banners. All right, we're gonna send our men straight to the Taifa who declared war on us, Emir Adfuns III. Who has keen hearing. He is a fickle, curious, ambitious, and shy man. A heathen. Here they come. Oh boy. The heathen has landed, and our army is being routed. Our attempt to quickly end the war. While Pope Innocentius has worked extra hard on my education as of late, I am grateful, but he has also made it clear that I am expected to repay his hard work further down the line. Damn, we're a political investment for him. That's interesting as fuck. Oh no, our army got chased all the way to Corsica, and we're being slaughtered. Oh no, this doesn't look good. We have to pray that the French get here in time. Oh man. This is kind of close. If they siege it, they might capture us and win. Here come the French. Oh, yes. Just in time. Just in time. Woo! The King of France has our fucking vassal as prisoner. Yeah. Yeah, the HRE is gone. Sorry, not the HRE. The Byzantines are gone. So in order to prepare for the defense of Europe against the devils, it also would make sense that the French are literally recruiting everybody they can fucking find, whether that be by force or otherwise. RP-wise, King Gargamel basically, after relieving the siege of Lagudaro and Sassari, made it very clear to King Solomon that we're not politically independent anymore. Now, we're not like a direct subject of him quite yet, but he's made it clear to us that we're basically a pseudo puppet of France. Now, so he's got a ward which will basically force us to do it, and we are basically politically doing whatever France wants. So if they tell us to do something, we basically can't say no is how this will work. And again, I'll edit it if this goes long enough. Let's meet our peers one more time before we come of age. We are about to win this war thanks to the French though. All right, we've won the war. Thanks to the French. They are gonna give us a ridiculous amount of gold. And we gained 700 prestige from that. Wow. My sister and friend Eusobia has climbed the highest tree around and is gesturing enthusiastically for me to follow. It would be the first time I climbed, but it looks like a long way up. My servants bring me a newborn litter, Limer puppy, fresh with the renowned de Torres kennels established by my grandfather, King Simeon. Peeking out for the blanket sniffs a tiny nose, curious about the sense of its new home. Hell yeah. All right, we have a dog. That always helps with stress. I've got a fuck ton of money. Let's go ahead and upgrade our barracks. And I'm going to also work on getting us some better men-at-arms, because we are desperately in need of them. We're going to get some crossbowmen. With the help of Pope Innocentius, I have achieved an understanding of scholarship that far exceeds that of any of my peers. To reach so far in the subject has truly been gratifying. As I take my first steps into adulthood, I find myself reminiscing about some of the people who have made the impact on the man I have become. The friendship I shared with Palu meant a lot to me when we were both young, and to still have him by my side means a lot. I had some memorable times with Gabinu. He helped me understand myself and love. King Solomon is a man now. He is going to be a mastermind genius philosopher. He's gonna need that fucking intelligence to deal with the Mongols, I can tell you that. Probably should learn their language too. We're a genius, it wouldn't be hard. We'll go for a scholarship focus. We're not super religious, so we'd be very much a scholar. We are gonna truly take after our name for King Solomon, become a scholar king, a philosopher king. We'll go for the Duchess of Granada. That's gonna be a very toxic marriage. Princess Intrude and her husband approached cautiously, wary of the assembled court. My lord, I am sure someone in the kingdom is trying to harm my husband. I have no evidence, but suspect Archon Karula. He wants no competitors in his claim to the kingdom of Sardinia, including Prince Alessandro's own, that's our brother. I beg you, imprison Karula and put a stop to this madness. We're paranoid. We already know he'd been plotting to become king. We're gonna imprison him. A markedly disgruntled Archon Karula hurries to your throne. Liege, I have the rights of the Judicatu of Galore, no matter what anyone might say. Yeah, but you're in our dungeons now, so you can go fuck yourself. Will you support my claim and have your vassal Jedi Gunnario relinquish what does not belong to him? No. Dudessa Natalia's voice is severe. I request that we launch an investigation about an infamous preacher in Sassari. You see, this preacher is, well, she's a woman. Aren't you also a woman? Oh god. She's like those women in like the 1910s who were saying that they didn't need the right to vote and should just be subservient to their husbands. Oh God. Judah Gennaro interjects Natalia's speech by raising his hand and taking a step forward. My liege, while Natalia is correct in her assessment, this is the preacher's only flaw. Everything she teaches is in accordance with our faith. We're not zealous, and we're arbitrary, so we do whatever the fuck we want, and we're compassionate. So we will allow her to continue. As I'm out for a stroll around the market, a merchant calls me over to insist she has something that will pique my interest. The scent of drying herbs and foreign tinctures overwhelms my senses as I approach to the stall. Yeah. She is rifling through her collection of dusty tomes and other treasures. After some digging, the merchant produces an old book and insists I need it for what is to come. Does she know our plans to fight the Mongols? Is this a fucking witch? This might be a fucking witch. Uh-oh. We have to buy the book now. The Fine Book of Hours. Monthly learning, lifestyle experience, prestige, piety, and more piety. Not bad. As I'm putting away my newly acquired Fine Book of Hours, a slip of parchment falls out. Upon it are instructions for a practice called bibliomancy, where one might divine their fortune from a passage in a book. Uh-oh. We're crossing that heathen territory. We gotta watch out here. All I need to do is open this text to a random spot and read the first fateful verses my eyes might fall upon. Ooh, we got raised by the Pope, but we're not a zealot. This is fortunes, and any time of like fortune telling is considered to be like consorting with the devil in the Christian Bible, but we're gonna fucking do it. I follow the instructions to the letter and select a passage at random from the text before me. Shivering with anticipation, I open my eyes and read. Fear is the mind killer. A coward dies 1,000 tiny deaths, yet a valiant man dies but once. What am I to make of this? Further research, let's fucking do it. Ooh, nice. Focus reading for 3 years. I have finally cracked the mysterious passage from the Fine Book of Hours and feel much wiser for it. Thanks to the merchant, the threads of fate suddenly appear more clearly to me. Fear may well be the mind killer, but I have faced my fear. Without fear, I die but once. We'll go for scientific. We're clearly a smart fucking dude. And we get to choose our research, so there's going to be a bit of a technological renaissance here, I think, in Sardinia, led by a philosopher king. I've come across a book describing how ancient monastics used trances and visions of ecstasy to commune with heaven. It seems a strange practice in our modern age, but perhaps there's something to be learned from them. Like the actual King Solomon, we're going to become a mystic. Locked in a room, strange powders on a burning fire provided overpowering heat, smoke, and smells. As I tried to feel the thing that lies before the world of fences. I do not know how much time passed before strange, undecipherable visions of light and pulsing sound came to me. Was it my imagination, or a glimpse of the divine? Is there even a way to tell? We'll do it again. Another one. As I experiment more and more, I get a clearer and clearer grasp on things. It is as if I can now summon the presence I feel when I first started my little ritual. It offers stability and comfort as the chaos of the world swirls around me. We become a wise man. While traveling down the road, we encounter something long, thin, and seemingly slimy in the road. Tell my guards to wait, and I approach and kneel down next to the object. After some careful observation, I realize it's an earthworm, struggling to get up to the other side of the road underneath the heat of the sun. After lots of hard work, I finally learned the Dovor language. Endless hours of practicing accentuation, sleepless nights mimicking inflection, countless lessons mastering intonation. It was all worth it in the end. During my efforts, I looked to emulate King Gargamel's accent. I'm sure that he'll be impressed by my results, and of course, French peasants now respect me a great deal more. We commune with God. Divine guidance. For 5 years. Oh boy. We're really walking that heathen line, aren't we? We're clearly on a spiritual journey right now, so let's go to Jerusalem. Well, we're gonna get married before we leave, I guess. Immediate family only. We're gonna piss some people off. These flowers are dreadful, and that's what you call food? By God, this court is run by idiots. I'm sorry, aren't you from heathen territories, woman? Jesus. My soon-to-be mother-in-law. Oh God, here we go. Nivatora has been hurrying my servants all morning, Ziska agreeing with just about everything we had planned for the wedding. On a roll, she turned her face to me as I entered the room. You! No child of mine will be married in a disgrace like this. All day, Duchess Riquet of Granada has seemed nervous, apparently put off with some of the attention heaped upon her. She's not shy, though. But as she enters the ceremony hall, a relieved look crosses her face. It appears she approves of our simple accommodations. She's temperate. It's what you want in a wife. Temperate woman. Damn right. Her family, however, seems less impressed. But we're thankfully not marrying them, so it's fine. After walking the length of the hall in a careful ceremony, I now stand at the altar of Duchess Rakea of Granada across from me. So close I could touch her. My heart is racing with fear and excitement. The priest turns to me and asks for those sacred words. I do. I should have known something was up when Rakea barged out of the reception before the guests had even left. When the bedroom door closed behind us, she whipped around, beat red, and stabbed a finger at my chest. You are the most despicable, disgusting, lousy excuse for a king I have ever met. Don't you even think about sharing a castle with me, let alone a bed. Well, that went well. Beautiful. She's our rival now. There we go. Ready to smile upon me. My wife, Duchess Rakea, is bearing my child. All right, we screwed our wife. We're good. I'm back on the battlefield. The mud is clinging to my boots. The rank stench of the dead assaulting my nostrils once again. I'm reliving the day Emir Adfunes II declared war on me. Man, that was a very defining experience for him. I wake up gasping, cold beads of sweat clinging to my face. Rakea stirs beside me, but doesn't wake. I must deal with my troubles alone. Oh boy, obsessed with vengeance. I'll never lose again.